Alright guys, so this has been coated with the Dixie Belle Slick Stick and curing for about 3 days. Just tested it with my fingernail. Nothing's coming off. So now I can go ahead and get into the actual painting. So I just put out some burnt umber. I'm putting out some primary red. I'm putting out some yellow ochre for my acrylic paints. And I'm going to go in with the skin tones first. Just one quick painting session, and then I got to take this off my nails, put another color on. So I don't know what I use this brush for, but it is stiff. So I'm gonna have to let that sit in water for a while. I'm trying to prop it up. All right, and I'm gonna have to find a different brush that I can work with. Hang on, guys. I guess I'll use this one. Clean it off a little. And I'm going to start mixing the paint. And I've made a nice chocolate brown. You can't see it. But anyway, let's get started. Now, I'm not going too close to the edges, only because this brush is thick and it has a few errant hairs or stray hairs that can make me paint up onto an area that I don't want to paint up onto. So I'll go in with a smaller brush for those areas. But for right now, I just want to get coverage. This is going to take, 2 to 3 coats. So I just want to get it covered with this base as thoroughly as I can. Touched a little water to it just so I can maneuver around. I probably should have picked this up much higher and put the camera from a more overhead angle, and I'll probably switch up and do that in just a second. But I'm just in a top and panties, so that means I'll have to put on some pants and, well, at least put on an apron. I think the apron will cover me, and that's fine. And then I can do the overhead shot. Got to think about these things, mess around, and expose all of your business unintentionally, and we don't want that. And a little more water. Try to grab up this color that I've mixed. And remember, again, I'm not going too close to the edges where it would be better to hit that with a much smaller brush. And I'll break that out in a second, because I think I've covered this well. And then I'll have to go in and remix this color to go for the second coat. But first I'm going to try to see if I can go ahead and manage to squeeze out the smaller parts. I haven't cleaned off my table in a while, so it's really a mess, and I really need to get a handle on that, because even right now it's hard for me to find the brushes that I need. So that's the drawback of being lazy, that once you decide to get up and take charge and start your painting, now you can't because everything's messed up. I don't know how I damaged this brush. I think it was because of the slick stick, honestly, so that brush may not be any good anymore. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Alright, so here we go with a brush that enables me to get in a little closer. I'm going to have to remix this color because there's not enough. I used it up pretty quickly. So once again, burnt umber, primary red, yellow ochre, and I'm mixing it right on top of the same palette so that I can see the variations. Like right now I can see I need a little bit more of the burnt umber, so I've mixed that in. And now it's the color I need it to be, so I can go ahead and continue. So I have to be careful right here so as not to go too far with this brush and get it onto areas that I don't want the paint application to be heavy on, because I'm going to be applying a different color to that. So, just got to focus, get a little bit neater, pay attention to what you're doing. Working on the turntable is lovely because it allows me to just change up the direction and see the angles that I need to see for what I'm doing. This brush has hard bristles. I don't like it. I need a softer brush for the second coat. So I'll go into my stash, figure out which one that one is, and then make this different. But I'll go ahead and clean this off really well. This one is soft. It's just that this brush right here is soft. It's just that the bristles are a little bit wide, and I think I'd like for it to come to more of a point. And I think this is the one for it. It's got dust in it, so I'm cleaning it off right now. Bear with me, guys. Right now what I'm doing is gathering up my paint brushes because, like I said, this side of the table has been unattended to for far too long, so everything's out of order, everything's a mess. It's not where I can easily put my hands on things, and I do want to change that. So, grabbing up all the brushes, and I'll rubber band them together once again so that I can pick up the whole bundle at one time and then see what I want to choose from. Alright, so I've gotten everything together now. Alright, so now they're bundled, and I can see easily, and that's better. I want this to dry a little more before I put on the second coat, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start on the Gele. Let me go ahead and put my apron on during this quick break so that I can give you a bird's eye view of what I'm doing instead of the view that we have now. All right, I think that's a better vantage point for you to see what I'm doing. So bear with me because now I'm going to go into my paint stash and try to see if I have a color that I'm thinking of for the Gele or if I'm going to have to mix this myself. And I'm not the absolute best at mixing paints and colors, so we'll just see how this goes. I'm looking for a primary blue. Can't see. This says brilliant blue. I guess this will have to work. Off camera, I'm just in my stash of the larger containers of acrylic paint that I have. And I don't have red, like I hoped I would. This is all the red that I have, and that's fine. I'll use that. All right, so I put out some more primary red. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I think this is a newly opened bottle. Yeah, newly opened bottle of the Brilliant Blue. Squeeze some of that out, and the reason why I squeezed out more of the primary red is because I dipped into the other dollop to mix up the skin tone. So now that, you know, that's a little bit diluted and polluted, so So I started putting in a few highlights just because I wanted to see what it would look like. This is not the time to concentrate on that because this is still going to need another coat of paint, I see, and that's not going to happen tonight. That'll happen after this has been set out to dry. There's a thin area here where the paint doesn't seem to be adhering, and I don't know if that's because I didn't put enough slick stick in that area, but I'm just going to try to dot the paint there instead of brushing it around. And I can always sand out that texture, but I need to have that coverage, so let's hope this works. All right. So yeah, we're going to let her dry overnight. Let me take this light out, and I think I can lift this up to show you before I go to bed. I squeezed out way too much of the primary blue, so much so that I'm not comfortable with wasting that much. I don't know if I can, maybe with the palette knife, I can try to get some of it back in there. I'm going to try now. A lot of it's been polluted with the red, so I don't know if this will be too successful. I don't think that's going to be successful at all. Trying to use a little bit of physics or science. I don't know what you would refer to it as. I'm not Walter White or Jesse Pinkman, but just squeezing the air so that it creates a vacuum, and I'm pulling what I'm scraping off back into the bottle that way. That seems to be working out fairly decently. I still have a lot of paint wasted, and that's because I hate trying to mix, match up colors and mix them, so I'm always trying to make enough for what I have to do, but that's never how it works out. And I've told you, I have to do things for a long time the wrong way before I finally settle in and try a different way. So tomorrow we'll try that different way of not putting as much out, and I'm just gonna have to mix a lot. So that sucks, because that's not how I like to get down. But the blue should be setting in pretty decently, so I'm just gonna try to lift her up from here so that you can see her. This is what she's looking like so far. A lot more to be done, a lot more depth and dimension, but this is how she's going to be coming along. I'm going to give her some nice eyeliner and, you know, like I said, just add some different points of interest to her. But this is the first coat, so she'll sit out here tonight dry, and then I'll be able to paint on her some more tomorrow. And we are clocking out at 47 minutes. As always, thank you guys for hanging in there with me. Make sure that you save the date, Wednesday, October 23rd, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live. We are having the Element of Surprise online art sale. Co-host is going to be Artwork Kirk, and you'll get to at a very, 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 very attractive price. I really can't stress that enough. All of the sculptures and clay works that you've watched me working on over the last year or so, I'd say. So it's going to include things like this, which is the Gele Goddess wall plaque. This is a wall hanging that I've just started to colorize, and if I flip her on the back, you can see that's the area where the nail hangs in. That's just cut out for Halloween, just to, you know, let it dry. So it'll be the Gele Goddess wall plaques, series pieces like the Vessel Goddesses, other freestyled clay works, pendants that are being paired with my hand-rolled beading, beautiful necklaces are going to be available. So everything that you've been watching me create and you've been falling in love with slowly but surely, this is your chance to acquire a piece or pieces. You know, the holidays are right around the corner. They're going to sneak up on us before we know what hit us. And even if you're not buying a gift for someone else, get something for yourself. Beautiful home decor, office decor. There's a lot more pieces I'm going to be doing. The Element of Surprise online art sale is an event that's going to be taking place every other month. So you need to get down on that, because whatever does not sell during the Element of Surprise online art sale goes onto the site, artbyterri.com, and it'll be at its regular price. So this is your opportunity to let me show you my appreciation by giving you some severely discounted pricing. As long as you're there participating and you speak up for your piece, that's how we'll get down. So Element of Surprise online art sale, Wednesday, October 23rd, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, taking place on Facebook Live. Peace.